My name is Eric Morgan, and I'm a digital projects librarian here at the University of Notre Dame. I'm going to outline, ever so briefly, my Digital Public Library of America Beta Sprint proposal. In a nutshell, the proposal describes, illustrates, and demonstrates how the core functionality of a library can move away from find and get and towards use and understand. With the advent of ubiquitous and globally networked computers, the characteristics of data and information have fundamentally changed. More specifically, things like books and journals, the traditional meat and potatoes of libraries, no longer need to be manifested in analog forms, and their digital manifestations lend themselves to new functionality. For example, digital versions of books and journals can be duplicated exactly, and they are much less limited to distinct locations in space and time. This, in turn, has made things like the search engines of Google, Yahoo, and Microsoft a reality. Compared to 20 years ago, this has made the problem of find and get much less acute. While the problem of find and get will never completely be resolved, many people believe the problem is addressed simply enough. Enter a few words into a search box, click go, and select items of interest. The problem of find and get is always a means to an end and not the end itself. People want to do things with the content they find. I call these things services against texts, and they are denoted by action verbs such as analyze, annotate, cite, compare and contrast, confirm, delete, discuss, evaluate, find similar, find opposite, graph and visualize, learn from, plot on a map, purchase, rate, review, read, save, share, summarize, tag, trace idea, or transform. Thus, the problem of find and get is evolving into the problem of use and understand. I asked myself, what services can be provisioned to make sense of all the content one finds on the internet or in a library? In my opinion, the answer lies in the combination of traditional library principles and the application of computer science. Because libraries are expected to know the particular information needs of their constituents, libraries are uniquely positioned to address the problem of use and understand. Not Google, not Yahoo, not Microsoft. We begin by exploiting the characteristics of the increasingly available full-text content. Instead of denoting the length of a document by the number of pages it contains, we measure it by the number of words. Thus, we will be able to compare and contrast unambiguously the lengths of documents. This one is shorter than this one is longer than those. By analyzing the lengths of paragraphs, the lengths of sentences, and the lengths of words in a document, we will be better able to calculate readability scores, and we will be better able to compare and contrast the intended reading levels of particular documents. By tabulating the words or phrases in a document in multiple documents, and then comparing those tabulations with each other, we will make it easier for the reader to compare and contrast, find similarities and differences between documents in an entire corpus. This service will enable people to answer questions like, how does the use of the phrase good man differ between Plato, Aristotle, and Shakespeare? If there were tools aware of the people and places in a document, then a reader's experience could be enriched with additional services such as dynamic annotations or plots on a world map. Our ability to come up with new ideas for additional services against texts is only limited by our imagination and our ability to understand the information needs of our clientele. My Beta Sprint proposal demonstrates how many of these ideas can be implemented today and with the currently available technology. Thank you for the opportunity to share some ideas about the Digital Public Library of America, my Beta Sprint proposal, and the role of libraries in the near future. This is a test. This is a test of the emergency broadcast system. This is only a test. In case of a real emergency, you would be instructed to contact the nearest systems librarian. This is only a test.